Hello, before this video starts, I could not live with myself if I made a video and just went on like nothing was happening. Because if you aren't aware, the Israeli government is participating in a genocide. They are doing an ethnic cleansing of Palestinians, and I have always been free Palestine. There is a lot of propaganda going on right now, and it is sickening to watch this happen, and I can't live with myself if I don't say anything and I just post a video like nothing's happening, because the Palestinian people do not have that right, and I would feel very uncomfortable with myself if I did that. So my description is going to have so many resources. The biggest thing we can do right now is call our representatives. Because I'm based in the US, I have found mainly resources for the US, but I did find one for the UK, so that will be down below if you are in the United Kingdom. There are many resources available to educate yourself and to be on the right side of history. This is an ethnic cleansing that we are witnessing, and as I watch all of the videos, I am just sick to my stomach, and it is more sickening that there's nothing happening here. The Palestinian people are just helpless. There's nothing happening, and it is so horrible. So the best thing you can do is call your representatives. That's what I've seen the Palestinian people saying, is that is better than donating, but if you want to donate money to the children's fund, I'll have that down below as well. And as readers, there is a bunch of things going on. There's a readathon thing on TikTok. There is a free audiobook you can get on Libro.fm, and there are tons of free books you can read. There's graphic novel recommendations, there's nonfiction, and so forth. So let's educate ourselves and let's do something to stop this, because it is horrific. This is a genocide, it's an ethnic cleansing, it is not a conflict. I just wanted to tell you that I'm free Palestine. I have always been free Palestine. I just so badly want them to be free. This is our reality, this is what's happening, and we can do something to stop it. Hello and welcome to another weekly reading vlog. I'm Alex, this is Pucks and Paperbacks, and I just finished up week 1. That will be up above if you missed it, and I am excited to get into another reading vlog. I'm having a lot of fun with these, and I actually have some things going on this week. Not much. The only thing I really have is on Friday, I'm going to a social event. I don't know if I'll film that because I don't know how comfortable I will be, but that's going to happen. I want to make some viral TikTok cookies I saw. It's chocolate chip cookies with the Pillsbury cookie. Besides that, I will be reading. Based on the title of this video, yes, I will be reading queer books. I have some options, but I am just mood reading. That is the vibe for this month. I have things, but I'll be mood reading, and I'm still participating in Blackoween. The link for that will be down below if you missed it. It's a readathon created by Bree at the Lock Booktition, and it's all about reading crime fiction from Black authors. I have Ace of Spades, which I'm super excited about. I have Your Lonely Nights Are Over by Adam Sass, which is a slasher, one of my favorite things. And I don't know what the title is, but this book by Cole McCade. This is a crime fiction that I'll be using for Blackoween. I'm so excited. I don't know if I'll get to 3 books this week, but that is the goal. Right now, I'm currently reading and hopefully going to finish this up soon. I am reading a novella by Cat Sebasatian. Here's the book cover. I can't remember what the title is off the top of my head because it's a long one, but this is a historical queer baseball romance, and I'm really enjoying it so far. It doesn't have much baseball, it just has the fact that these 2 men are baseball players, and it's interesting because I, a hockey fan, I like baseball, but I don't love it. It's not my favorite sport, but The Sandlot is my favorite movie, so you would think that it is, but it's not. However, I just feel like playoff sports is better for everyone. Sports are way more fun when people are winning, so I'm a baseball fan for the time being. I mean, I am a baseball fan. Like, I do watch the Philadelphia Phillies occasionally, but hockey is so long that I don't really watch it that much. But I guess baseball could be my replacement when I am going through hockey withdrawal in the summer. Speaking of hockey, I don't know how I didn't mention this, but Hockey season starts this week. It literally starts tomorrow. The Flyers play on Thursday. I've been waiting for this since June. Oh my god. It's finally coming. I'm so happy. I don't know how I forgot to mention that. Like, I'm so excited. I can't wait for Thursday. Anyway, the novella is going great. I'm really enjoying it, especially that it talks about injuries. I'm excited to see where that goes. I've always wanted to write a book about concussions, so this is kind of inspiring me to maybe write a historical hockey romance. I'm like, dude, that would be so fun. So fun. So just adding that to my list of things that I could write someday. But that is it for right now. I'll let you know when I finish up the novella. I'm gonna go on a walk and then I will be back later or maybe tomorrow. We'll see what the night brings. Happy Thursday and happy hockey season! I have been waiting 3 months for this day, and it sucks because I'm not as excited as I usually would be. Like, I would wake up, put on my jersey, be so excited, but the NHL just continues to disappoint me every fucking day, and I'm just not as excited. Basically, they have banned pride tape, meaning no player can use pride tape on their stick to show solidarity and support of the LGBT community because of what happened last year with our own player who said that he wasn't going to wear the pride jersey because of his religious beliefs, and it spiraled into other players doing the same thing and saying they're not going to wear the jersey, and we just went backwards, and it sucks because the NHL has gone very far with their inclusion. Now, it's not as inclusive as it could be, obviously, and I'm just sad. Like, honestly, I'm not even mad anymore because I guess I'm just used to it, and it sucks because I don't want to be used to it, but fuck them, and I am going to always be here. You're always going to have queer and trans fans, and the Flyers captain at this point, he's not actually our captain, he's the assisting captain, but he's basically the captain at this point. Scott Lawton did say that he doesn't care. He's gonna just put on the pride tape, and if he gets fined, whatever, he does not care. So I'm hoping that it gets better and maybe something happens, but honestly I'm not gonna go much into it because I have just been sad for the last couple days and pissed off that this shit just keeps happening. It's just a lot. And I have not even picked up a book for Blackoween this week. I still have been reading that novella. I just haven't had the time. And I feel like these vlogs are just a very real look into my life and my reading routines and how I am a slow reader. It's really just that I prioritize more things than reading. The other thing is that I just don't know what I want to read. I think my best bet would be to go with the Cole McCade because I have an audiobook and the ebook, so I think I should just do that. But I really want to finish up this novella. I think I'm on page like 70, so I'm about 70% in, 60% in. Also, I've been working on my last vlog. I'm still adding the captions, so I'm gonna do that right now and hopefully I can get it posted today. It's Thursday, and I tried to get it up on Monday or Tuesday, but I went shopping for shoes and I didn't find any. I just feel like not much has happened. I haven't been doing many things, but this weekend will be a little bit busier. So honestly, I don't even know what this vlog is going to look like because I was hoping to vlog next week too, so maybe you're just gonna get a weekend vlog from me and we'll go from there. Ignore the mess behind me, but I am 60% into the Cat Sebasatian novella. It is called Luke and Billy Finally Get a Clue. So I'm on page 71 of 102, so I'm hoping to finish it up today. That would be ideal, but we'll see what happens because there's a lot of sports going on and I have priorities. But ultimately, I think I'm gonna go with the Cole McCade next, so maybe I'll put that audiobook on while I get some work done. That is just my little update right now because I was like, wow, I haven't updated all week. And it's Thursday, so hopefully the weekend will be better for me and I'll be able to get more reading done. I say this all the time, like every vlog I say this, the weekend I get more reading done. It is now Sunday. I am about to make some cookies, but I wanted to just pop in because I haven't been here. I went on Friday to a group thing, which was really fun, and I had some really good food. It was a Thai truck, I got truffle fries and their chicken dumplings, which were to die for. This food was so good, I devoured it all. I loved it so much, and I had a good time out. I spent Saturday watching hockey and also just relaxing because I had a pretty busy week, but also socializing takes a lot out of me, so I needed to recuperate. And today, I'm also doing that, but honestly, I'm doing way more today than I was doing yesterday. But the weekend is for rest. So I'm gonna make these cookies I saw on TikTok. They are going viral. They're Halloween cookies where you basically put the chocolate chip and Pillsbury together. I watched a few videos, so I'm going to try and do it. I'm gonna attempt it. I'm a little nervous, but I watched a couple videos, so I think I'm okay. You just have to put the chocolate chips in the oven for 5 minutes, and then you put the ghosts, and hopefully it'll turn out good. I'm a big chocolate fan, so I'm excited to have some cookies. But in terms of reading, I have the audiobook for Cardigans by Cole McCade. This is the criminal intentions book that I was talking about. I started some of it, and today I'm hoping to get more of it done. It's only 200 pages, and the audiobook I believe is only 6 hours. I'm not too far into it, but I will read you what the synopsis says. When a string of young queer men turn up dead in grisly murders, all signs point to the ex-boyfriend, but what should be an open-shut case is fraught with tension when BPD homicide detective Malcolm joins up with a partner he never wanted. I'm trying to find a better angle, so sorry for the switching up, but I didn't know anything about this until I went into it, and the fact that it is going to be about queer men disappearing, I just think that this is going to be really interesting. I just love books that have a darker meaning or a deeper meaning, so I'm excited to see what else happens here. I'm really enjoying the audiobook. I also have the ebook from Kindle Unlimited, so I am hyper reading once again. But last night before I went to bed, I finished the novella I was reading by Cat Sebasatian. It is Luke and Billy finally get a clue, and I finally know what the title is. It's a long title, so I forgot what it was. When I was writing my review, I accidentally wrote Tommy, and then I was like, no, it's not Tommy. I didn't even read a character named Tommy, but there is a character named Tommy in this novella series, so I guess I need to read Tommy next. I have Tommy on the brain for some reason, but I'm excited to read more. I just really like Cat Sebasatian. I've only read The Queer Principles of Kit Webb, but I just want to read all of Cat Sebasatian's work because it's so good. I really enjoyed this. As somebody who is deep in the hockey world, I know this was baseball, but I know a lot about sports injuries, or I've seen it, and I'm very empathetic towards people that go through sports injuries because most of the fandom is not. It is so ableist, but I'm just really glad that Cat Sebasatian had this conversation because it is about Luke, who has gotten an injury. He's permanently disabled because he was hit by a pitch, and this is set in the 1950s, so it is way before having helmets and things like that that protected players, even though I do have my arguments about that because I'm just like, I don't care if it looks good, I want them to be safer. I feel like baseball, it's kind of fine, but with hockey, I just wish they had the cages and not the helmets with the visor. I just want everybody to be safe and be able to live their lives after they play, and there's a lot of talk about concussions, especially from players that have retired and had to retire early because of concussions, and this book made me tear up. One of my favorite hockey players is Nolan Patrick. At 23 years old, he basically is leaving the league. I think he's 24 now, but he has been living with chronic migraines because of the repetitive concussions he's gotten. I did tear up at some points as Luke is talking and Billy is talking about him because this is such a grumpy book. I don't even know how to describe the tropes. I will put on the screen the tropes that Cat Sebasatian put because that is really what sold me. But this is definitely a friends to lovers, but it's not a grumpy sunshine. If grumpy is a thing, that is exactly what these characters are. It is not even an enemies to lovers. It's just like a grumpy friends to lovers where both of them are grumpy, but in two different ways. Luke is grumpy because he's injured and doesn't know what the rest of his life is going to look like, and Billy just wants him to be okay and he wants to care for him, and so grumpy in the sense that he just cares, but the way that they communicate is just hilarious. I really enjoyed this. It was so sweet. I wrote in my review that it was just a joy to read. Honestly, it's a slice of life. Cat Sebasatian says that it is no plot, just vibes. 100% true. It definitely is. So if you need more of a plot, maybe you won't be interested in this, but honestly, if you just want a short queer book, I really enjoyed this. It was only 102 pages on my Kindle, and I had a good time with it. Like I said, I really am so grateful that she talked about sports injuries, because in a novella, it's hard to jam-pack everything and have important conversations, but this was really well done. And I really enjoyed it because you see Billy's perspective and then you see Luke's perspective, and yeah, it's really mentally taxing on players to have a sports injury just like this one, where you don't know if you're ever gonna play again. And that is why I care so much about Nolan Patrick, because it is such a shame the rhetoric that is passed on around him. It's really disheartening to see the rhetoric that happens when people talk about him, because in hockey, everybody just says he's a bust. I'll link down below somebody that I follow wrote an article about him and why he's not a bust. It was really great, so I will link it down below if you want to read it. But I just advocate so much for him. He's my favorite guy. I really hate that his career was cut off at such a young age. He's only 24, and this happened when he was 22, 23. I get really teary-eyed every time I think about him because I just enjoyed him as a player, and it's such a shame that he can't play anymore. I just think at the end of the day, it is a conversation about how sports do not set up players for success when they are injured. There's really just so much ableism in sports, and I hope that one day it gets better and people will start having the conversations, because I get so frustrated when people say, oh, they're injury prone or they are a bust, and it's just not that. I don't think people see players as human beings, and they also don't think about the mental side of being a hockey player or just an athlete in general. It is really disheartening when people get injured, and I know many players that have said this, that it's really hard to even be with the team if they know that they're not ever gonna play again. And it is really mental. Like, a lot of these guys do end up having depression and anxiety and things like that. And it's really great that now some are speaking up, and I'm just hoping that it gets better. So that is my little spiel, but I really enjoyed this, especially if you want to read about disability. And as somebody who likes sports, you know, I was going to enjoy this. And my baseball hyperfixation, I feel like it's kind of ending at this point, but this did really help my hyperfixation. I feel like it was closure for it. The Sandlot is my favorite movie, which is so ironic because I just don't think that my brain can compute baseball sometimes. I like it when it's fast. That's why I like hockey, which is hilarious to me because so many people that I tell that I like hockey or I meet and they want to watch it for the first time are always like, oh my god, this is so fast. And for me personally, I'm just like, oh, right, I actually forgot that it's a fast sport. Anyway, I'm gonna make cookies and I will see you later. I'm going to turn on the audiobook for Criminal Intentions. I guess that's what I'll call it because I think that that's what the title is. It has 2 titles, but that is it for right now and I will see you later. Hopefully these cookies turn out. They will. You know what? I'm manifesting it. It's going to work. Everything's going to be great. These are going to be delicious.
As he shrunk out of his suit coat and tossed it across the desk, exposing shoulder holster strapped with a pistol and grab on top. What was it? CIA? FBI? NSA? Slipped through my spine, something narrowly. Something narrowed his eyes, teeth clenching. I was not analyzing you. Don't lie to me. This partnership won't work well if you do. This is not a partnership. us being partners, he said. When I don't want to work with you, you don't want to work with me either. That's not hard to figure out. But I've got a stake in this case, and so you...
What a perfect fall Sunday. My second batch of cookies are in the oven, and as I'm listening to the audiobook, I'm now 13% in. It's a short book, so I know I'm gonna finish it in the next couple of days. But really quick, I wanted to mention this. Somebody had pitched it as Criminal Minds if it were queer. And that is exactly what this is, but I'm loving the grumpiness. I feel like I'm reading all of the brooding, grumpy characters this week for some reason, because this also has a grumpy character. As I read the synopsis, we do have a character who is on this case. We find out 4 bisexual men were murdered and they are trying to get to the bottom of it, but the guy on the case, Malcolm, he just wants to do everything himself, which I can relate to. He's a very independent person. He's just like, I don't want anyone else to bother me. Let me figure it out on my own. And in comes Sung Jae, his partner, and they are butting heads. Malcolm is like, dude, I don't even want you on this case. Like, let me just do it myself. And Sung Jae hopefully is going to produce and help us. Happy Friday. I just finished up The Cardigans by Cole McCade, Season 1, Episode 1 of The Criminal Intentions. This book or episode is following a case around queer men being murdered, and it is super gory. There's a lot of body horror, so if you can't read that, I don't recommend this book because it's intense. It definitely heightened my anxiety, but I thought the audiobook was incredible. I have tried to read Cole McCade before physically, and I just think audio is the way to go for me, but this book in particular was so good on audio because it's like you're watching Criminal Minds or you're listening to a true crime podcast. So if you like true crime, I think this was awesome. And it was cool from a queer perspective. It really talks about the fetishization of queer men, and I really liked that commentary. But honestly, as much as it's intense with the graphic nature of the crime, I thought that it wasn't as intense as it could be. Honestly, Promise Boys was pretty intense, but because it's YA, it can't be as gory as possible. But this one had some instances of that. With that being said, that is the second book I have completed for Blackoween, and I am using it for Joe's Library, the prompt, read a mystery by a black man, and so this does check that off, and I'm feeling so good about my Blackoween reads. So far, both of them have been hits. I am not going to read more for Blackoween until next week. My next vlog is going to be centered around cozy mysteries, which I desperately need because the last 2 books have been intense. But the reading plans I have for the weekend are the following. Hello, editing me here to tell you that I got another sinus infection. So after this clip, I started reading Heart Hunt Havoc, which I'm still reading and enjoying, and so hopefully in the next vlog I will have finished that up. I am going to still try to do a last vlog, and you'll probably see it at the beginning of November or something like that, because I want to still do my cozy mystery reading vlog where I read a couple of those. But today is October 28th as I am filming this and editing, and today's maybe the first time that I feel a little bit better. I started getting sick on Sunday, and then on Tuesday I went to the doctor and I have an antibiotic and I'm chilling now. But I am taking everything easy. So I am actually currently reading Squire, which is a graphic novel by a Palestinian American author, and I'm enjoying it, so I will include that in next week's vlog, or just the next vlog. And so I'm reading that, I'm reading Heart Hunt Havoc, and I started my first cozy mystery. It is Body and Soul Food by Abby Collette, and so those will probably carry over to my next reading vlog, but I just wanted to pop in and end the vlog here, and thank you for watching. Also, check my description for all resources. A lot of things have changed since I started this vlog, and I filmed my clip talking about how I am in solidarity to Palestine and I support free Palestine and Palestinians getting their land back. And so a lot of things have changed. Currently, they are experiencing a blackout. And since I've been sick and I just haven't had a lot of energy, I've been emailing my state representatives. I'm going to call if I get a chance. But all the resources will be down below. I am devastated that we've gotten here. My heart goes out to every Palestinian that is witnessing this, who has family that have passed and everything. I am with you. I support you. I'm hoping one day, hopefully soon, that Palestinians will be free. And I also talked about the Pride tape in this video. Pride tape has been reversed. Thank you to Travis Dermott of the Arizona Coyotes. He put it on his stick, and the league was basically like, uh-oh, what are we gonna do? And they realized their own fault, that there's a rule in the rule book that says you can have any color tape. So they didn't even check the rule book before they put out this stupid statement and rule. So now you can wear Pride tape, but the thing is, they're not wearing warm-up jerseys anymore. I mean, at least they can wear the tape, but honestly, it's such a shame because I know there's not many sports leagues that are inclusive, and like I've said and I always say, the NHL is not as inclusive as it could be, but it's at least nice that we had Pride Night and things like that, and they were showing solidarity, and that they're still doing that in a way. Like, for instance, my team that I follow, the Flyers, their assistant captain, Scott Lawton, every home game he invites a group of LGBT people, which I think is awesome. And so at least there's little things we can be happy about. That's really it for this update. Let me know what you are currently reading in the comments, and I will see you next week with another vlog. Happy Halloween, and I hope everyone is staying safe and educating themselves. Goodbye.